All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just to kind of reflect on what we talked about AEW Dynamite review. We talked about a Thursday Night Wrestling preview, and we also talked about AEW Dynasty preview, which is going to be live on Bleacher Report, Thriller TV, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So, yeah, don't be afraid to watch that. It's going to be pretty awesome. So kind of like what I promised here, it's going to be a little hard because there's so many good people out there. So many great wrestlers that you look at and you're like, man, that'd be so cool to hang out with that guy. Kind of like one of those, like, oh, like if you had to, bring somebody back from the dead, who would you want to have dinner with? Talk about this and that and the other. So I'm very excited about this segment. Hope you guys like it. But before I start this segment, if anybody that's watching is under the age of 21, don't drink. Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. No, obviously, well, no, obviously don't do it. But if you're over the age of 21, obviously drink responsibly. I feel like it's like one of those like PSA, like those PSA like TV moments where it's like, oh, side effects include diarrhea, confusion, this and that. No, just I'm gonna talk about some WWE, AEW, the Ring of Honor superstars. I'm like, it'd be cool to hang out with that guy. It can be absolutely cool to hang out with that guy. So hey, let's see if this works out. Last time you know, I did this segment, it was kind of like one of those things where it's like, oh my God, like what's going on? What's going on next? Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, here we go. Awesome. We have Sami Zayn starting off this bottoms up Thirsty Thursday presentation. Sami Zayn, I think would be pretty awesome to sit down and have a drink with. Obviously, it's my man, and I think it'd be great. Next. We have Gunther. Gunther, I heard rules of drinking kind of over the seas are a little bit different when it comes to like drinking in the United States. I heard you gotta but Gunther looks like that guy that could take down a barrel of beer and be like, "Hey, bro, you want to go jogging tomorrow morning?" And you're like, "Ah." I mean, I guess like you don't want to let him down because he's so big. So honestly, I can see Gunther as kind of like kind of like that beer drinking guy. Mercedes Monet. Mercedes Monet seems like that, that kind of girl to kind of hang out with, go out to dinner with, kind of like drink, a couple of casual, mixed drinks, hang out at like a TGI Fridays or Buffalo Wild Wings. And guys, honestly, this segment's pretty crazy. Randomly kind of popped up, and I was like, this seems like a good idea. But now, kind of doing it, I'm like, you know what? I probably should have came up with something else. But I think it would be pretty cool, definitely, to kind of have a drink. Next, we have Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. It would be totally awesome to kind of hang out with Roman Reigns. A question that I would ask him is that who out of the bloodline do you think is, if it wasn't for you, who do you think would be the tribal chief? And obviously, he would have a plethora of superstars to talk about. The Rock, Rikishi Fatu, kind of like all the bloodline in the past. Honestly, Roman kind of looks like that guy that can drink like maybe a couple glasses of wine, but be like, "Look, guys, like all responsible. Look, we got to go to bed because we have stuff to do tomorrow." And you're like, "Yes, tribal chief." No. And next we have Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam, this is my man right here. I feel like Rob Van Dam could definitely be that guy that like you can kind of hang out with, kind of like talk mess with, kind of have like kind of share a 6 pack of beers with, and also play some video games. It seems like that you play NBA Street, and like both you guys would be like talking mess and like, I don't know, it seems like you're good. One question that I would ask for Rob Van Dam is that if does he regret ever coming to the WWE? That's me. Next, we have Bully Ray. Bully Ray looks like that baller, man. Looks like that guy that can drink you under the table. That looks like you get done with like drinking like 6 or 7 beers, and you'd be like, dude, are you done? Are you seriously done right now? Like, what is wrong with you? No, and obviously for a poison, I think it'd be obviously I think a couple beers. One question I would ask him if he had to team up with anybody else besides Devon Dudley during the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression era, who would he choose? Next, we have Vince McMahon. Vince, should I just let this one roll on? Nah, I'm just kidding. Definitely one question that I would ask Vince McMahon is that, dude, like, would you ever, do your life differently? I'm just kidding. Vince McMahon is one of those guys where it's be like, dude, no, don't drink, don't do anything crazy, go home, sit your ass home. I'm just kidding. Next, you have Tony Khan. Tony Khan, the guy from AEW. He looks like a nice boy. He looks like one of those guys that'd be like, hey, after we have a couple of beers, you want to go to church tomorrow? No, just kidding. I'm not trying to dog on anybody that does that. No, just but I'm just saying, like, he just seems like that good guy. Maybe like you kind of have to force him to drink, maybe slip a little bit of vodka in the drink, and he'd be like, I'm, whew, what is that? Why is your drink so good? And you're like, I don't know, dude. The bartender be like tripping over here. John Cena. John Cena. John Cena's the man. Obviously, the champ is here. John Cena looks like one of those guys that could definitely pound maybe like a 12 pack, maybe a couple of beers more than that, and wake up the next day, be absolutely fully functional and not, not kind of have like a hangover because he would, have that hangover, give him attitude adjustment out of here, and he would just absolutely be phenomenal like he is all the time. Next, you have Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes seems like that guy that you would ask to hang out, and he'd be like, "Yeah, sure." And you'd be like, "Yeah, dude, I'll take a beer." And then the bartender would be like, "Hey, sir, would you also like a beer?" And Cody Rhodes would be like, "You know what? I'll take a Cosmo." Just kidding. I want a martini. Like he seems classy. Seems very, very classy. Like I don't think this guy has ever heard of a Jaeger bomb in his whole entire life. No, I'm just kidding. No. But one of the questions that I would ask Cody Rhodes is that would he rather fight Roman Reigns in WrestleMania, or would you rather have a chance to kind of go against Dusty Rhodes, your father? Next, we have Mick Foley. Mick Foley seems like that guy that, like, maybe, like he kind of had like a rough, hardcore past and, doesn't really necessarily drink. You're like, hey, bro, you want to go out and have a couple of beers? And he's like, you know what, man? I'll take a cranberry juice. And like he's drinking cranberry juice, but still seems like he's having more fun than you are. And you're like, what? Like, what the hell's going on? Next, you're going to have Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, one of my favorite wrestlers. Starting off with the question. Honestly, I would ask him if he could do anything different in his career, what would he do? And, obviously, in emphasis of the Montreal Screwjob with him and Bret Hart, that would definitely be one of the questions that I would ask him. And also, he seems like Shawn Michaels is reformed Christian. I wouldn't want to mess with that, so I wouldn't tempt him with the drinking or what I. No, I'm just kidding. And next, you have Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley looks like he could. I don't know. He just looks like someone that would beat your ass like at a bar. I'm just kidding. No. He's like, hey man, you want to hang out with me? Go out and drinking, and you're like, you know what? I'm not sure, Bobby. I'm not sure. And he's like, well, guess what? Get your things. We're going anyways. And you're like, you know what? I don't know if I want to. And he's like, get up. And you're like, oh, okay, let's go. Let's go. Like, and then he would like be like, hey, let's run a mile the next day. Next you have Triple H. Next you have Triple H. Triple H is an absolute dynamite. I know, he's kind of had the history in the WWE as being one of the most functional employees. So, he one of those guys to be like, yeah, let's have one drink. And then usually when you go out with someone who's like, yeah, let's have one drink, it's not really one drink, but he really means it. He seriously means just one drink. And it's like, but and you're like, whoa, like, all right, like don't kick my, don't kick my ass. Like, let's not let this happen. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin seems like that guy. Obviously, and I'm not just depicting this because like he like has the and he's like, ah, and he was just totally like chug beers for days. But Stone Cold Steve Austin seems like that guy that can like, once when he get done drinking it, this is during his heyday. During his heyday. Like you drink a couple beers and you pass out, you wake up and he's like, you ready for round two? Are you boy? Are you some like it's crazy. Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch seems like she is ready to be awesome. Like she seems like she can drink you under the table kind of girl. She seems like she can absolutely like kill it. She's like when she's doing it, like when she's drinking, it's like it's more eloquent than you are, but like she just does it in style, and you're like trying to keep up with her, and you're like, oh man, I don't, I think I can, how are you doing this? And she's like, I'm the man, I'm the absolute man, and you're like, dude, like I'm not a man. I'm just kidding. I'm like, I can't handle this. What are you doing? But I'm just kidding. No, to be honest, it'd be pretty awesome to experience hanging out with any of these individuals, But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't. Definitely one of the questions that I would ask Becky Lynch is that after achieving everything that that WWE has to offer, what's next for Becky Lynch? What's next that you want to do? Is there any hobbies or any hidden accomplishments that you want to set for you yourself as a woman or even as a person? So yeah, definitely one of the craziest segments I've ever done. Hope you guys liked it. If not, leave it in the tips and the donations at the GSMCpodcast.net. Yeah. Uh, Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to hit a Superman punch that like and subscribe button and leave a positive review for the show. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we love peace, love, and positivity, baby. All the way. Yeah. So, yeah, don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button. We also invite you to follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter/X, and Instagram for more content and updates. If I haven't made you a wrestling fan already, just remember we have other podcasts in terms of sports, in terms of everything at the GSMC Podcasting Network. We are a family. This is the new bloodline of podcasting. Check it out or regret ever being a part of this amazing movement of entertainment in terms of, entertainment. So, once again, thank you and have a phenomenal day.